Shalom Malcolm, this is Brother CHAARAWTAZA, GMSORLANDO camp. Today, man, I want to go into words, man, because thing about it is, you know, when you're out there teaching, and these Edomites come up to you, and these people come up to you, you gotta know how to use words to when you battle these people, and to express your point clearly. Sometimes you need words. Okay, so I'll read the scripture right here. All right, and we're gonna go into a couple words. All right, so this is Sirach chapter 23 verse 7. Hear, O ye children, the discipline of the mouth. He that keepeth it shall never be taken in his lips. Now, you know, originally this is talking about the scriptures, first and foremost. Okay, but in order to break down certain scriptures, things like that, you have to know the meaning of words. Then, in the ancient days, going into the Hebrew, and now going into the English, and going back to the Latin. Alright, so you have to become disciplined in your tongue, man. Alright, meaning foremost in the scriptures, and then secondly, in the way that you express yourself, or express, or break down the scriptures, okay? Because when you're out there teaching, you have to teach clearly. People have to understand what you're saying. Alright, and then when you get into an argument, you have to get into an argument using words as your weapons. So if you're using words as your weapons, you need to have the precise weapon to take down this enemy that you're arguing with. Okay? So that's what you need a disciplined mouth for. Alright, so I got another scripture. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 27, verse I'll start at verse 6. I'll start at verse 5, okay? The furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is his reasoning. You see that? So the trial of man is his reasoning. What is your reasoning? Your reasoning is your understanding, how you think, your thinking. Now, when we came up in school, you know, this American school system, we weren't taught to think, man. We were taught to remember shit and regurgitate information. But when you come into this truth, brothers are teaching you how to think, how to critically think and analyze shit. Break shit down. Whenever I do a sit down, I don't just go get information from Esau. I'll go get different facts from Esau. I'll get the scriptures to give you a perfect understanding of how these things are supposed to be expressed. Okay? And after the scriptures and the facts, I'll come to a conclusion, and I'll give you the conclusion based off of the scriptures and the facts that line up with the scriptures. So that's a process of thinking that you learn when you come into the truth. Okay? And you know that you don't learn when you're in school. All right? So it says, so the trial of man is his reasoning. So when you out there teaching and the people come up to you and they see you teaching, they're basically going to judge you based off of how well you present the information to them. Alright, or how intelligent they think you are. That's just how this society goes. And they're going to size you up according to that. But if you seem to have an okay vocabulary, you understand the meaning of words, you can go into the scriptures, they might be a little hesitant to really, you know, go against you like that, man. And that's where understanding the knowing words comes in. Alright, that's where knowing and understand how to use the weapons of words come in, because these words are a weapon that you have to use when you go out there in the highways and the byways. The scriptures are the first and the foremost, which the scriptures are words themselves. So the scriptures are first and foremost, but your understanding of certain words in the English vocabulary, so to speak, is important too. And just like any warrior, you have to train and practice. You have to have experience. So for certain brothers, it's important to not to just stay on the same level where, okay, well, I'm just going to stay on the same level with this same vocabulary that I've been having for years. You need to up your vocabulary, man. All right, so that you can up your understanding of the scriptures and how to break them down clearly. The scripture said, comprehending much in few words, man. Said it in the book of Sirach. Comprehending much in few words, meaning when you speak to somebody, you need to speak to them as clear as possible, but in a short amount of words so that they understand. Because if you speak to them in a bunch of words, because you have a limited vocabulary, then they won't understand what you're saying. And they'll get lost. You got to remember, people have a short attention. People have a short attention. All right, so Sirach chapter 27, verse 5, the furnace proveth the potter's vessel, so the trial of man is his understanding. His reasoning. The fruit declareth if the tree have been dressed. So is the utterance of his conceit in the heart of man. Praise no man before thou hearest him speak, for this is the trial of men. Alright? So, the way that you know the difference between a fool and a wise man is their speech. But us as brothers, with these scriptures, we got to know how to maneuver in and out of these people world. You know, if a person come up and they're in fucking college and they come with all these big words, we got to understand them, man. You got to be able to understand them. So you got to understand the mechanics of language and word, so that you can understand this person, so that you can cut. Remember, the scriptures say understand first and then rebuke. If a person comes up to you in the highways and the byways and you don't understand what the hell they saying to you, how can you rebuke them or cut them? Alright, so you have to understand what these people are saying, whether they be some fucking stupid ass scholar from a college, or whether they be the average everyday, you know, so-called Negro, man, that has a limited vocabulary. Alright, the scriptures, you know, in the scriptures in Sirach, it also tells you to be, it tells you to know, hold on, let me get it, because I don't remember exactly how it goes. Yeah, this is Sirach chapter 5, verse 15. Be not ignorant of anything in any great matter, or a small. So you're supposed to know, just know at least a little bit about everything. You don't really have to, you know, go in depth into a whole bunch of, you know, you just like you got a big ass head full of, you know, about every single thing in the world in depth. You just need to know a little bit about everything. Alright? And you need to know how to explain them things. So don't cast off understanding words and vocabulary as something that, okay, well, we don't need to deal with that because, you know, we Israel. No. You need to understand words and how to use them. This is a war, and if you're a warrior, you have to know, you have to be skilled at whatever weapons you're going to use. Our weapons of warfare is words, mainly the scriptures, but we have to war with words. So you need to understand words. So that's what this channel, or that's what these videos I'm going to start doing is geared toward. It may not be a whole bunch of scriptures come out, but you know, I try my best to bring out scriptures, but we're going to really go into words and what they mean and things like that. So the first word we're going to go into for this day is this word nation, okay? It's in the scriptures a lot. You'll hear people, you know, bring it up a lot about, okay, you know, this is the nation of Islam, or the nation, this is the American nation, Gator Nation and all this shit. But what does the word nation really mean? You ask the person what's their nationality, and they'll say, well, yeah, I'm American. But does that really mean, is American really a nation or a nationality? No. So this site right here is Online Etymology Dictionary, okay? This is one of the sites that you can use for words, or I use dictionary.com, and I use Blue Letter Bible under the, So this right here says nation. It says from Old French, nation, okay? Birth, rank, descendants. You see that? Descendants. Relative, country, homeland. Now, this is a modern definition. This is from the 1300s. You keep going, I think this is 12th century, and it's directly from Latin, nationem. Alright, nationem. Usually whenever we go into a word in the highways, we usually go back to the Latin, because that's the beginning language of English. Most words in the English language or vocabulary comes from Latin. Alright, so it says from Latin, nationem. Alright, it says birth, origin, breed, stock, kind, species, race of people, tribe, literally that which has been born. Alright? So it means the tribe or the stock that you come from. Like you have us, so-called Negroes. We're Israelites. We're Hebrews. Okay? Israelites. That's our nation. We live in America, but we're Israelites, which is our stock or our nation, which is the stock or a race of people. Black is not a race. It's a color. The word race, okay? You ask people, what's your race? And they say, well, I'm white. Or, what's your race? Oh, well, I'm black. You fill out a job application, they ask you for your race, and it says white, Caucasian, black. They don't even have, a lot of times, they don't even have African American. They just have black. They'll have other. But black is not a race. It's a fucking color. Alright? We'll go to the word nigger, because they say, like you got the country Nigeria. Alright? Niger. Which, when you look at maps of Africa during slavery, especially West Africa, they call it Negro land. That's why you had a country called Nigeria, which really means Negro land. Black land. Okay? We'll get into after this. So this is race. Okay? We're looking for the second now. Race. Right here. People of common descent. From Middle French, raza. You see that? Race, breed, lineage. Possibly from Italian, raza, of unknown origin. Spanish and Portuguese, raza. Alright, now, Spanish and Portuguese come from Latin. Portuguese is also called Latin. Just a modern Latin. Okay? It said original sense in English included wines with charismatic flavor. It says group possible with common occupation. And it says 1560 meaning tribe, nation, or people regarded as of common stock. From 1600 meaning of one of the great divisions of mankind based on physical peculiarities is from 1774 through even among anthropologists there never has been an accepted classification of these. Now what he's talking about is a German anthropologist, I can't remember the date. What he did was he classified man according to five races what they made up. And it was based off of your skin color and how big your head was and shit like that. I think it was black, white, Asian, American, which is like the Native Americans. Oh, no, my bad, Mongoloids or something like that.